Hello everybody, this is another GCR fan video, and today, as you can see straight from the off, I'm going to do a quick preview video of the A5, which is coming along very nicely, being produced by Caledonia Works, as commissioned by myself. Basically there'll be liveries of this pack all the way through to BR years, so at the moment the current beta version that I've got for testing and my own driving and videoing pleasure does contain the GCR and LNER liveries. But I'll give you a bit more of a background of the loco at hand. Hopefully on this video you will be able to hear me. I have altered my volumes this time round. I had a lot of people feeding back to me from the last video I put up saying that they could not hear me, which was a bit of a surprise. So yes, I was subtly surprised by that. Anyway, give you a little bit of a history. The loco itself is the GCR Class 9N, as designed by Robinson for the Great Central Railway, later classed as the LNER A5. I'll just do pause break so I don't waste too much in-game time because I've got the sun at the nice level that I wanted. The 9N was Robinson's last passenger tank design. I think these were, these were quite late on really in his career. Obviously I know he was the head CME until 1920, let me get this right, 22-23, when the grouping happened. Then obviously the title went to Gresley from the Great Northern. These locos were built in 3 batches, starting in 1911, and then the last batch were built in 1917. Obviously the First World War kind of got in the way of them building some tanks, as per usual with everything else that happened in that era. There was a 4th batch built that was ordered by the GCR. However, that was built after grouping in 1923, and then the LNER ordered a 5th and final batch from the Hawthorne and Leslie Company, which was obviously built in the mid-20s. There were some differences among these, which I'll do. Obviously, I'll research these in a lot more detail than I actually know right now. Having the loco commissioned has basically led me on to researching the loco a lot more. Obviously, I just knew it for being a henge boy, but yeah, I'm obviously going to be looking a bit more, bit more detail about it for when I do a release live stream stroke mega video. The A5s are actually quite a pivotal design in a lot of ways, quite an interesting design, because they were one of the first GCR classes to receive superheaters in their passenger classes, and Robinson was known for tinkering with his superheaters. The Robinson 04 was also amongst one of the other classes that he tinkered and experimented a lot with superheaters, which seemed to work out very nicely for him. There were a lot, basically, as with the 04 and other classes around the time that he built, there were a lot of superheater changes before he finally settled on his own design. He kind of experimented with existing superheater types, and then worked out his own type, and then stuck that in all his locos. It seemed to work very well. The A5s basically remained the same all the way throughout until BR days. I think some of them had their cabs lowered or rebuilt because obviously they were out of gauge for certain lines that they ran over in LNER days. So I think some of them had the cabs lowered by a couple of inches or something like that. Nothing too drastic. They were never rebuilt. They were just maintained, serviced, and kept this particular way. A5 is also a close relative to a similar looking loco that people can often get confused with if you're not got a trained eye for these locos. They can get confused with the LNER A8, which was a freight tank. I can understand why people get confused at the sight of looking at them. So anyway, we're on the North Lincolnshire route, which is set about the 1950s, but I've gone for transitional L and NER livery. I absolutely adore the GCR livery, but we'll keep that around for another time. But I quite like the look of this one. Chris has only got around to doing these skins in the last few days, so you know it's obviously fresh off the press. There have been a few changes throughout the beta and alphas that we've obviously had to tweak, etc., as per loco development. But it's looking very nice. Water crane is in exactly the wrong position. So first glance is very, very good. Features do include moving inside, cylinder motion, which I'll be able to show you on the camera view, but all this stuff in red here in the middle does move and animates at speed, which is very good. Chris won't mind me just going in and having a look. There we go, a 3D plate with the, whoops-a-daisy, with the texture, kind of a photo texture, because it's very hard to do builders plates in Train Sim. Then we've also got the number plate on the cab side, fully 3D with dynamic numbering. So that'll be all present and correct. Lining, as per usual, is to Chris's very high standard. Zoom right in. It's actually very good, about the same quality as the GCR 04, sorry, 8K even for its designation. And look at the, well, I think they're called decals, but look at that. Very highly detailed. Very highly detailed. Very highly detailed. Very pleased with this. Also, the lining, as I said, the lining again on point. Chris is fantastic at lining. This also comes with bump maps on the buffers, so it shows a bit of natural scarring, a bit of gumph on it, which is very nice. Obviously got vac brake, steam heat pipe, your 3-link coupling. The detail is very, very high on this model. So yeah, it is very, very good. And obviously we've got rolling stock that can go along and complement this loco in the shape of the Matrix Trains Barnums. These are available on the Steam marketplace. I believe they're only £2.99 or a couple of quid, something like that. Well worth the investment. I suggest you get them now while you can. Ready for when you get the A5. This loco will not come with any rolling stock included. It will just be the loco. So that was all I commissioned. But obviously we have got the Barnums to run them with. And we may see more Great Central rolling stock in the future, all being well. So she's slightly a different beast to drive. Quick, give a show in the cab. As you can see, the portholes were very, very small on these. So obviously if you drive on the cab side more than anything else back in the day. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get the coal shoveled in. I'm going to brim the boiler because this can be a very thirsty locomotive. I'll do that. And I'll just see if Chris has done the lamps yet, because that will be quite useful. Oh, he has. Oh, well done, lad. Control 1, 2, 3, 4 guys as usual. Double tap if you want the red aspect, which is very good. So that one at the top, so it's stopping passenger service. And I'll just wait for the fire to build. We could probably set off and get away with it. Yes, I hadn't thought about how far what the platform 1 was. I activated the water crane, top lol. So we'll just take the passengers on at, whoops-a-daisy, at iclickthewrongbutton.com. And obviously there you go, the Barnums, you can see people loading in to the brake van. I love the effect of these doors because they open inwards. These carriages are beautiful. Look at that. Awesome stuff. So we'll give you first sight and sound of how this loco sounds. Again, I'll be leaving the HUD up and drawing from the keyboard control so you can see exactly what I'm doing and where we leave the cut off. There we go, and we'll just make sure the dampers are on, because I can never remember if the dampers are on. Dampers are on. Why is the blower on? Why the bloody blower? Oh, never mind. Right, anyway. We're on the loco now. I'll just cycle through some of the views for you. So we're going one, standard Caledonia Works, cab views. So, I'm going to go on a little round trip from Louth to Mablethorpe, where we'll run round the stock, and then we'll come fast. I say fast, we'll be non-stop from Mablethorpe to Louth. We'll do a stopping journey on the way there. It's only a short journey, it shouldn't take us too long. But I thought, why not show off a little bit more of the Lincolnshire route, but we'll also just go for something a little bit more scenic, you know, Barnum's Tory stock, synonymous with, very synonymous with summer excursion trains in the area that came across from the former GC network. It always worries me when I see signals that are pulled off and on a track going from behind. Luckily I auto set the route, so it means we shouldn't have any problems. This is the first time I've actually driven this part of the route as well, so it shouldn't be too bad though. Oh, we're going downhill a little bit. I think we'll just give you a little bit of sound at the moment. And that view I was telling you about, I've got to find it. There we go, this is the one I want. And if you look in this view that's on the side of the loco, you can see all the valve gear being animated, which I think is really cool. You really see it working on this particular loco, which is obviously a standard feature of Caledonia Works, but it's just a fact of how well it operates. Just come off the throttle a bit. And you're probably wondering what pushed me to commission a second loco, again a GC loco. Again, the reasons are very simple. Big fan of the Great Central Railway, as in, well, I'm a fan of the preserved one, but obviously the actual company itself. Robertson's locos have always been a point of historical interest for me. He was a very, I don't know if innovative is the right word, he was a very important loco designer, I feel. for his time, as were so of many other gentlemen who plied their trade as mechanical engineers. But Robinson helped shape what would have been taken on in some of the LNER days as well. Gresley took certain elements of Robinson locos and ideas and implemented them into his designs as well, going forward into the LNER, which was something to obviously take forward as a very positive thing. And also, if you read up on when Gresley was going for his interview, so when the LNER was formed, they held interviews of the mechanical engineers of the companies they were obviously merging together to see who will get the top spot as CME of the LNER. And the story has it that on the interview day, I'm trying to get back to that view that I like, there we go, that on the day of the interview, Robinson had just had his interview, I believe, and had come out from it, and he bumped into Gresley on his way out, and wished him good luck, and basically the conversation went along the lines of Robinson turned around and said to Gresley, I recommended them to you. It was actually Robinson's own recommendation that Gresley get the job, and it was kind of seen as a very high honour for Gresley. Robinson was a very well respected CME because of his ideas, what he did, the company he worked for, etc. But he was very well respected, and for an engineer to be blessed by Robinson to, you know, say, look, Robinson says, you know, I'm the man for the job, was a very big thing. So Robinson did carry a lot of panache, character, a lot of weight behind his name, which is only a good thing. Oops, that is the wrong button. There we go. It's only a short platform at Grimolby, so we'll be lucky if we get the old train on the platform anyway. Even luckier if I brake in time. Perhaps a little bit hard on the brakes, but I had to make sure. Yeah. I didn't overrun. We'll hold her at about 10. 8 will do. Shove a little bit more of the old Vasa or council pop in the boiler. And I'll try and get a nice view departing. Right then. See, I always have to think about these things. I hate having to think. So I want to put the reverser up to there. I want to take that off. The F5 is running. That's fine. Set the cocks open. I leave before the next thing? Oh, I did. Nice. Right. At least it didn't overfill itself, that looks cheap. I believe I've still got the Railworks enhancer shaders on, so it obviously shows up. Chris's textures get better and better with every loco that he makes, and it really does show. I don't think I've ever seen an LNER livery look so luscious in terms of how it's been finished. It looks absolutely amazing. It is like a piece of art. Just the amount of care, attention to detail that Chris puts in is almost godlike. In fact, that's a good point. Talking of God, did he? He has. He has. He's put the Bible in. I wondered if he had. Actually, I like the way we've got various whistles on this loco. If you use the B button. There's loads of whistles on this, it's brilliant. So we'll be coming up on Salt Fleetby. Then we've got Paddlethorpe, then it's Mablethorpe. I could have gone around some on the sea, but didn't really want to go too far or take too long. Oh bloody hell, there's 25 with it. No, 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 yes. And that noise, by the way, is the injectors filling up. On the cab view, if you have the heads-out view from the cab, instead of doing the Shift F2 feature, you get all the cab sounds as well, which is a nice touch that I like. And just as I say that, a moth lands on my monitor. It is now a dead moth. I have to say that was a good shot. I hit it with my bloody back of my hand. You didn't hear much of it, I just went tap with my nails. Backhanded it. If you're watching this far and the moth has died, press F and leave a comment. Oh bugger, shift. There we go. Come on, break you big bugger. That'll do. Okay. So Saltfleetby Station. If actually I'm going to do a thing here. Oh. Correction, I was going to do a thing here. But that obviously didn't work out how I wanted it to. See, I quite often take some screenshots whilst I'm filming. And you guys probably think I'm mental for it, but to be honest, I kind of like doing it. Sometimes you come across these prime opportune moments of serenity and beauty that just fit perfectly. And move my mouse out of the way. There we go. Yeah, that's quite nice. Ah, there's a... Right, okay. So if I... Oops. Don't want to be trespassing now, do we? Yeah, that'll do. Just like a few nice screenshots. Just to make a little bit of a difference. Right, Shift 2, 1. There we go. This thing also likes drinking a lot of water for prolonged running, so be warned. Oh, bloody hell. Obviously it runs quite shallow when it's at 33% on the cut-off. But it means I can just pop the throttle up and leave it there. This is a very picturesque part of this route, I have to admit. We'll do a blistering run on the way, that will open her up a smidge. Obviously we've got to be quite restrained around this bit, so. Yeah, it's only a smidge over, that'll do. There we go. Oh, and we're back to undulating speed limits, so we'll just back off the pace a little bit here. Put a little bit of brake in. Down to 16 inch. In fact, actually, you might want to bring that down a lot more. There we go. It's not perfect, but it will do. go, press number 1. And we're coming on the approach to Thedlethorpe. We're very near to the coast by this point. I'd be surprised if somewhere out there you might see sea, you might not. Probably not. Oh well, we'll have a look. Interesting to see a little bit of an Easter egg there. Now back up to the throttle again, we'll put the brakes in. And which side is this platform on this time? Oh, for God's sake, it's still on that side. To a controlled stop. Bit naughty of me to feather a vacuum brake, but yeah. Excellent, eh? Just give it a little top of the water, a little bit of coal while we're waiting. Just get up to about there on the vacuum. There we go. Now we're nearly at Mablethorpe, where we have to do a run round procedure. Couple onto the train again, and then off we go. These locos will have worked around a fair few parts of the country. Several routes that you can use these on in Train Sim, including the Wickham Line Plus route from Stevenson Supreme. Obviously, you've got North Lincolnshire routes available from links.trainsim.co.uk, I believe the website is. We've also got the North Yorkshire coast, Weardale and Teesdale, maybe the odd one or two more. But yeah, North Lincolnshire can apply. They probably would have strayed onto the network, even though they're not allocated around that area. It's quite possible one or two strayed over the network. But it seems quite fitting. I mean, North Lincolnshire seems like a nice sort of area that you would see an A5 type engine running down doing fast or semi-fast passenger work. So when we get to Mablethorpe, we'll be crossing over and pulling into platform 3, so that means when we run around, we're on the right side to depart straight back out. this is where I do multitasking. Someone has a bad nicotine habit. That's the full fill. There we go, they filled up. There you go. Man can multitask, he can fill up a vape and drive a loco. Only in train sim though. That's better. 85% water for now, that'll do. Go get topped up again before we depart anyway. I've got plenty of water left in the tank, so we're okay. Obviously, this part of the route here, which is that D shape that you can see the blue highlighted on, I believe it's called the Sutton Loop line. Sutton Sea Loop. Trains that went to Mablethorpe from the Midlands, like Leicester, would come down to a station called Willoughby, turn off there. But the locos had no turnaround facilities at Mablethorpe, so they turn around here at this little triangle that I'm focused on. Called Thursby. So they normally leave the carriages at Mablethorpe. They would then go down to Thursby or run a service to Thursby, turn around so they're facing the right direction, and then they'd couple back up and go back home. Thursby still exists today, obviously a part of what's left, a very small amount left actually of the vast amount of lines that ran through North Lincolnshire. Because you come up from Boston, go to Thursby, and then you go kind of round and back south again to go towards Skegness. Thursby's quite an interesting place because obviously it was the junction where you could turn off for Louth, which was on the Boston to Grimsby main line. And incidentally, some of this area now where the station is housing and car park. On a recent trip to Mablethorpe myself, or visiting relatives, it transpired that the road that we parked on in the little car park was called Station Road in Mablethorpe, which I find a little bit amusing. There we go. More than enough room. There we go. So we want to open passenger doors there. We're just going to put the handbrakes on the brake carriages, stop them from rolling about anywhere. Probably the two middle ones as well, just play safe. And then what we do is this very weird shunting manoeuvre. So we go south, back through platform 2, across to the platform 2 approach, and then back into platform 3. I don't know why I did that, idiot. There we go. Obviously this is the fireman's side, but I normally drive from the fireman's side because obviously signals are normally on the left hand side. Although I think I may need, because I don't know if there's a ground aspect anywhere. Ah, the signal's there. Okay. Right then. Now, is this going to be very weird with me? Oh, no. Okay, I'm supposed to manually change the points. Ah. Ah, oh dear. Le buggernuts. I forgot to put in a waypoint. You bloody spoon. Yeah. I'll come back. I'll be having this fixed very shortly. There we go, folks. Sorry about that slight technical hitch that you normally get whilst beta testing, which was I am an idiot and I didn't do the right things correctly. Anyway, we'll move on from that and the fact I didn't put down a waypoint in the scenario that I made for this review because I'm a scenario maker and I still managed to bugger it up. But anyway, right, so we're at Mablethorpe. We've, inverted commas, ran round the train, which is a shame I didn't get you to watch really. And we're going to head off to Louth shortly. I'm just going to top up the coal. So we'll be running bunker first on this occasion. We'll give her the beans. I'm going to give her the beans. Right, so we need some lamps. Control 1. Control Shift 1. Yes. There we go. In fact, actually, that's a very stupid code to have. Control Shift 1, we'll have 2 and 4 on. There we go. So apparently Louth is half hour away and it's 12 miles. Well, we'll soon see about that, won't we? Right. I'm just going to get us into the correct... There we go. Oh. Can I turn around? There we go. So sounds are going to be behind us, but in fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be a bit of a devil. Sorry for making you all giddy. Along at a nice pace here. Oops, wrong button. speeding. The idea of this run is so you guys get a bit more of an idea of how it sounds at higher speeds. And if it looks like the pony wheels aren't moving to you, that's because of the frame rate, so please excuse that. It's a train sim thing, which cannot be helped. Imagine I'm being eaten by trees. So don't worry folks, there's nothing wrong with the video because I stopped talking and my mother came and brought me up some watermelon slices, which was very nice. Trying to remember, is there a curve coming up sheet? I think we will get away with 40 mile an hour around there. So far so good, it sounds nice when you get her up to speed, it's a nice engine that can do a fast pace. Again I meant to mute my microphone because I was eating melon, but don't worry, I'm still here, I'm still driving, so stick with me. I'm going to chop my watermelon. I'm not going to stop recording now, I've already had enough faff trying to record today as it is, so but, we'll keep going, so enjoy the sound. There we go folks, I'm back. And as you can tell, it's a good little loco, it can hold its own, definitely. Ah, are those wheels moving? They are. Well, there'll still be a report to Chris in case he can try and fix it. Where are we? 6 miles to go apparently. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Have we got another station to go through? We have. It's Grimolby. We've got to go across the junction. Yeah, okay, cool. And bear in mind folks, release date is not confirmed as of yet, but I will tell you it won't be that far in the distant future, so you won't have long to wait for this magnificent bit of kit in many liveries. There's GCR green, GCR passenger green, GCR black, GCR line black I believe, no sorry, GCR line green, GCR line black, GC/LNER transitional, which is this one, as an LNER livery. Then you've got the BR liveries as well. So obviously there's a smaller number of liveries with this one compared to the 04, but that's to be expected. These locos weren't as far flung across the world as the Rumson 8Ks. Sadly, none of these particular locos survived into preservation, which is a great shame really. One of these would have been really good in preservation, I think. Could you imagine this? With Barnums, I mean not necessarily on the Great Central, but like, you know, with preserved lines, it would have been really cool. I know it's been a bit of a samey view on this one, trying not to get the line side stuck in the way of it. But going tender first can be bunker first even, can be a bit awkward. We'll go that way. There we go. And yes, I know I'm speeding. But as you can tell, it does sound really nice. Oh, hello, we're losing pressure. Mightily losing pressure, oh dear. We need to back off a little bit. See, that's the thing with this loco, you really have to keep an eye on what it's doing. Unlike what I just did, which was completely ignore it. Just gonna let that cruise, I think, and it builds a bit of pressure. I've still got to get the driving technique for this one down just perfect. But apart from that, it's a really nice engine to drive. I'm thoroughly enjoying it, I have to admit. I'm thoroughly enjoying driving this loco, and I'm really glad that Chris was able to take on the commission and, as usual, deliver a high standard of commitment, detail, and really push the boundaries again on the quality of his products, which definitely was something. Yeah, so I think I grossly underestimated just exactly how much pressure I was going to use, but never mind. We've got enough gumption back in us to get us going. There we go, that's looking a bit healthy, 140. Now we might even be able to make a little sprint to the end at Wow, which would be a good little idea, I think. So it blows off, does it? No, it doesn't need a blower. Ah, there we go. Pressure's coming up a bit quicker now. Okay then. Oh, got a bit of frame lag there. I do apologise, I don't know what that's about. Oh, I bet I do. I bet my securities check started on the computer just to make my day. Okay, here we go. There we go. I'm coming in a little bit hot there, I think. Oh no, 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 I think we're okay. Yeah, we're good, we're good, we're good. There we go, I managed to save the bell there. Vacuum brakes can be very strong things. And yes, I know the fire is a very high fire mass, but this loco requires it. So please save your smart aleck comments of how I drive to yourself, because I really do not give a bloody monkeys. There we go. Put in the VAT brake. We'll just leave it there, because we're going to be ending after we've hauled up here anyway. There we go. So, there you have it. A sneaky view behind this fantastically awful looking building. It's not awful looking, but it's nice, you know. So yeah, that is the A5. That is the A5 coming soon from Caledonia Works. Very nice engine, very well detailed, of a 462 tank type that's not often modelled in train sim at all. So yeah, I hope you guys do buy it. I sincerely hope you do enjoy. I sincerely do hope you enjoy driving the A5. It's been very nice commissioning it. It's very special to me, and I hope that you enjoy driving the Loco as much as I will. More videos will be coming of the Loco, and I will see you soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.